Hey, what's going on, you guys? Hey, quick video, man. I want to talk about boundaries. A lot of people don't understand the importance of boundaries, setting them as well as making sure that they're firm so people wouldn't take advantage of you. So you got different type of boundaries. You got the physical boundaries, then you got emotional boundaries. Um, they can have a wide range of things, such as being from loose to rigid. That assists you with helping within your boundary circles, not only for yourself but for others. And boundaries are some things that are learned. Yes, you can be taught boundaries at a young age, but you also have to do the work once you're taught those boundaries. I'm out here right now, my back porch, got my garden in the back, so I'm chilling. I got a nice little piece of space around me. So it's different type of boundaries. So you got the physical boundaries, which pertain to your personal space, your privacy. Whether you give a handshake or a hug, and to who you give those things to, it all depends. Then you got those mental boundaries. It apply to your thoughts, your values, your opinions. Are you easily suggestible? Do you believe on certain things? You hold your opinion dear to you. Can you listen to somebody with an open mind and not get too rigid with their opinion? Somebody who is different from you, or whatever the case is. Don't forget those emotional boundaries, which are equally important. That separates your emotions and your responsibility from somebody else's. Pretty much is like an imaginary line, that separates you and somebody else within a healthy realm of respect, I guess you could say. And it also prevents you from giving advice or taking advice and blaming and accepting others within reason as well. It helps protect your feelings from someone that has negative thoughts and stuff about themselves. Sexual boundaries is also important because that's you're touching in your private areas, who you want to give yourself to, stuff like that. So those things are important. And then of course you got the spiritual boundaries, which relates to your beliefs, to the connecting you to the higher power. Material boundaries, of course, we all know about. Whether you're lending some out, your car, clothing, books, just different stuff like that. So those things would be material. For some people, it's so hard to set boundaries, and mostly because they're codependent. Realistically, to be honest with you, they put the needs of others before themselves. They don't really know themselves internally. Tend to be people pleasers. They want to make sure that everybody's happy, which can, be looked at or viewed as not a bad thing depending on who you are. They don't feel that they have rights, so people tend to walk all over them. They believe that certain boundaries may jeopardize the relationship with different people or different in different settings, such as work or school or even within home in your partnership. And again, you probably never learned these things when you were younger, so those things can play an effect on you. But just as a reminder, you have rights. You can say yes or you can say no. But more than likely, it's a lot of people who want to say no, but oftentimes saying yes so they wouldn't, offend somebody or create issues. Like right now, you probably got a coworker in your office that is overwhelmed with work, but if the boss or the supervisor say, hey, we got this other task, they take it. Instead of telling the supervisor no, they say yes. But when they get back to the desk, they're telling you about it, like, oh man. And in your mind, you're like, yo, why you just didn't say no? Or you already got a lot of other tasks to do. For boundaries, they need assistance with that. So some of the internal boundaries that you probably come in contact with within yourself, of course, is, having self-discipline, healthy management of time, positive thoughts, emotional thoughts. Some behaviors can change. Your impulses can change. Those things will help you create healthy boundaries within yourself, those internal boundaries. It's very beneficial to, of course, set effective boundaries, not only for yourself, so you wouldn't be taken advantage of, but for others, so they can view you in a certain way. People tend to view you and associate you by the boundaries you set or don't set. And again, once you have those boundaries set, you definitely got to be firm to them, so people wouldn't take advantage or overextend themselves onto you. Boundaries are not meant to be a punishment to somebody. They're there to protect your well-being and you and your space, whether that's your personal physical space or your mental space within your peace within yourself. It assists you in being self-aware. Learning to be assertive is definitely one of the first steps you can do, that's definitely important. Setting boundaries is not selfish, it's self-love. You need those boundaries. People tend to associate you and size you up and figure how they can get over if needed, or who they can, um, I guess they know who to call in certain situations because you're probably going to say yes, even though you are, incomplete within yourself or don't have the resources, but they're going to ask you anyway because you're going to say yes. So do yourself a favor, develop some assertiveness, develop space within yourself to set those boundaries. And remember, you have rights. You don't have to say yes to everything. Learn yourself, protect yourself too. And don't forget those emotional boundaries, physical boundaries, sexual boundaries, material boundaries. So start limiting your access to certain people have to you, and it also affects the energy that you display out within yourself. So again, short description on boundaries, hit me up, www.mentoheal, that's men2heal.com, or hit me on the gram, men_to_heal. Let me know your thoughts. Let me